Okay, so what if you could understand an entire global industry just by looking at one company's business plan? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today. We are diving deep into the world of aquaculture, that's fish farming, by looking at the massive promises and the hidden problems laid out in a single business profile. Let's get into it. This right here, this is the opening line from our source material. And you got to admit, it's not just a question, is it? It's a huge promise. This is the hook that gets entrepreneurs and investors alike really excited about fish farming. I mean, who doesn't want profits for a lifetime?
And we're not talking about some small niche thing here. The source describes aquaculture as a booming industry with totally untapped markets all over the world. It's kind of framed like a modern-day gold rush, you know? But instead of digging in the dirt, you're farming in water.
So, how do you go from that huge promise to an actual working business? Well, we're going to follow the story in 5 parts. We'll start with the opportunity itself, then look at the incredible expertise it demands, the hidden problems you're definitely going to face, the tools you need to solve them, and finally, we'll ask what this all means for the future of food. All right, first up, let's explore that promise, what we're calling the profitable blue frontier. We're going to look at what makes this business so incredibly appealing in the first place. So what exactly is aquaculture? Well, the simplest way to think about it is just farming in water. You know, take everything you know about traditional agriculture with its fields and its crops, and just apply that same idea to fish, shrimp, crabs, even seaweed. It's all about a controlled, managed way of producing food from our oceans and rivers. But here's the thing, a massive opportunity like this isn't enough, not even close. To actually succeed, you need an incredible amount of expertise. As you're about to see, this is not a business you can just casually jump into. Our source profile makes its credibility clear right from the get-go. Over 35 years in the business. Think about that. That is more than 3 decades of learning, adapting, and trying to master a field that is constantly changing. And what does that experience actually look like on the ground? Well, it looks like 20,000 acres of farms being operated. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that is the size of over 15,000 football fields, all dedicated to farming fish. The scale is just immense. And it's not just about how big these farms are, it's about how ridiculously complex they are. We're talking about managing around 100 different species of fish, shrimp, prawns, and crabs. Every single one has its own unique needs, its own life cycle, its own challenges. This just shows the sheer biological depth you have to master. And this level of know-how isn't just for one local pond. No, it's been put to the test in wildly different environments all over the world. From India to the Middle East, across Europe, Australia, and Africa. To operate successfully in each of those places, that takes a truly global level of expertise. Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. Welcome to Section 3, more than just water, because just beneath the surface of this incredibly profitable opportunity lies a whole world of hidden challenges. So let's ask the question, if you've got the space, or in this case the water, is that all you need? What does it really take to turn that shiny promise of profit into a cold, hard reality? Well, the answer is it takes a lot more than just managing a pond. Success requires the precision of a science lab. We're talking formulating feed, running nutritional studies, and it needs the structure of a university with training courses and R&D facilities. This is a high-tech, knowledge-first business, and those industry awards just prove it. And that leads us perfectly into our 4th section, the Aquaculture Toolkit. Because if the challenges are this complex, well, the solution has to be just as comprehensive. You see this phrase in the source material again and again, end-to-end solution. So what does that actually mean? It means managing everything, from the very first blueprint of a farm to the day-to-day operations that keep it running profitably. It's a system that's designed to control every possible variable in what is, by nature, a super unpredictable environment. And this table here breaks down what that end-to-end system actually looks like. It's not just one thing. You can really split it into 3 big interconnected areas. First, you've got animal health. That's the biology, the actual fish themselves. Then you've got the physical infrastructure, the tanks, the filters, everything they live in. And finally, you have the daily operations, the tools that keep the whole system alive. From oxygen pumps to water testing kits, every single part depends on the others. And here it is. This is the key takeaway. This is not a product catalog. It's a map of potential disasters. Every single item on that list, from a probiotic to a water filter, exists to solve a problem that could go wrong and completely wipe out your entire farm. Success isn't about having the best fish, it's about managing every single one of these risks, all the time. So for our final section, let's just zoom out a bit. Farming the future? What is this super controlled scientific model of fish farming tell us about where all of agriculture might be heading? This comparison here shows the shift perfectly. On one hand, you have traditional farming, which so often relies on the rhythms of nature. The seasons, the rain, the health of the soil. But this model of modern aquaculture is totally different. It's about creating and managing a completely artificial ecosystem. It requires constant technological and biological intervention just to keep it stable. And at the end of the day, it all comes back to business. This quote is a great reminder that mastering that complex ecosystem isn't just some science experiment. It's about building an integrated supply chain that can deliver all those high-quality products and that critical equipment reliably and at a good price. Which leaves us with one final and, I think, really important question. As our planet's population keeps growing and we search for new, more efficient ways to produce food, is this the future? Is this kind of highly technical, end-to-end managed system the future of all farming, not just fish? Definitely something to think about.